Hey, family, welcome to Keep It Raw. My name is Ravel. Thank you for coming. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you have subscribed, make sure you hit that notification. And so, the message today that I'm going to dive into is don't give up. There's love out there for you. And some of you feel like the person for you is already dead, done already died or in jail somewhere. And I've heard people say that over the years. Say, no, I don't think it's in the cards for me to be married. And so you're ready to give up because you're frustrated. But I believe there's someone out there for you. And the reason why I don't want you to give up because there's a heart out there with your name on it, and you just right now you in battle or you're frustrated and you don't see that person, and so you're just ready to give up. But it takes faith to see beyond, and so keep that in mind. There's a lonely heart out there for you with your name written all over it. And you said, well, how can you be so sure there's someone out there for me? Well, I know because God said man should not live alone. He created man to be with woman, and he created woman to be with man. And so not only should man not be alone, but woman should not be alone. So if you're alone, there's somebody out there, unless he gave you a revelation that it's in the card for you to be celibate the rest of your life or unmarried the rest of your life, don't buy that lie. There's someone out there for you. The only issue is there's a problem in terms of finding that person or being prepared for when that person comes. Because you done met people and things went well for a while and then they went left and right. And so this is what I want to address today. Don't give up on love, and here's why. Uh, in the scriptures, we are mandated to love God with all our heart, mind, and soul. And the second commandment is like to that, and it says to love your neighbor as you would yourself. So we have a mandate to love. And so it's frustrating when you are alone and you're single and you've been that way. Some of you have been that way for a long time, and you just hopeless at this point because you have bent over backwards, and it's still not working for you. But I want you to brush all that aside, put your past behind, and decide that there is someone out there for me. Let me get ready, and let me get ready to meet that person because God have someone for you. If not, he wouldn't have said it's not good that man should be alone. So there's love out there for you. So keep that in mind. And some of you, again, you don't believe because it have been long, and each time you have tried, it have failed. And so I want you to not be overly sensitive. I don't want you to be frustrated with it because some of you it's dragging you down, and I don't want it to drag you down. And so, but you don't believe because you have looked for love in all the wrong places, and you didn't get the respond that you wanted, and so that frustrated you. But understand, because you have failed in the past, don't mean you can't pass in the future. You can't because you failed at things, and we all have failed at things in the past. And then we find out we gained success as we continued on, and we found different avenues to find success. Maybe we failed in one area and we won in other areas. That's just the way it works. But when it comes to relationships, again, I believe God have someone out there for you. I don't care whether you 50, 40, 30, 20. God have someone out there for you. But the issue God have had is getting individuals ready. And so when you start thinking, well, these guys ain't right, these women ain't right, and it's always them, stop looking at them because God is the one that wants to draw you to the right person. And so it said, who God have drawn together, let no man cast asunder. And so some people are using the wrong connector, and then they wonder about the connection. And so if you pray and you look to God, he promised to give you the desires of your heart. And so in the past, you have took it upon yourself, you rolled the dice, and you crapped out. And you did that over and over until you done bumped your head, and now you just think all men are messed up. Now, you don't think that way, but a lot of you do. And some guys say all women are messed up. And they feel that way because they don't bump their head and they try to do it themselves. Relationships is not a do-it-yourself kit. God created relationships for his purpose to be a replica of the relationship we're to have with him. And I'm going to keep saying that because God had reminded me relationships was designed by him. And if you have a car and it's not working right, you go to a mechanic. If you have an issue with your teeth, you go to a dentist. Where do you go with relationship? Not just relationship coaches, because there's a lot of foolishness out here. And a lot of people are saying stuff for likes, and they're saying whatever seems hot, whatever they think you might listen to. I'm not on that. I'm here to give you the truth so that'll set you free. And so the bottom line is this: God wants you to be with somebody, but He wants you to be happy. And to be happy, you have to start with being happy within yourself. You can't look for somebody to make you happy. You have to become happy within yourself, and then happiness connect with happiness, and then you have a wonderful time. But when you're not happy with who you are, that creates a big barrier between you and the person God have for you. Because now that person, for God to present you to that person, He have to now, not that He won't love you or she won't love you, but they inherit all of your unfinished work. So what I want to encourage you to do is start working on you. Because there's someone out there, but you have met people and your personalities didn't connect, or they did for a while, and things went well for weeks or months or even years, and it just went left and right, and it didn't work out because those attitudes is there from the unfinished work. And so that's why you need coaching. You may need a therapist. You may need to talk to a priest, a rabbi, or whoever, friend or neighbor. Get the help you need to become better, to be more sufficient in who you are and your walk in trust and God to provide for you the person that He wants. Because some of you don't pick the wrong guy, the wrong lady, because you use your own thoughts and said, this is the right one. I like their hair, I like how they walk, I like their physique, or I like their job. That's the right one for me. They making good money. That's the right one. And you found out that was the wrong one. You thought it was Mr. Right, but it was Mr. Wrong. Or you thought it was Mrs. Right, and she was the wrong one. And so what I want you to do is pray. I want you to reposition yourself. And that means to take inventory of you, to prepare. Whether it mean get in that gym, mean to change up something. Reposition yourself mean to do things a little different. That may mean getting a book, start educating yourself. That may mean being more cultural. That may mean a whole slew of things that may go with that. But reposition yourself. Get rid of your old attitudes towards men if you don't have bad luck with men. Get rid of your bad attitudes towards women if you had been unlucky in finding the right one. Get your energy right. Get your mind right. And the only way you're going to do that is by getting your attitude right. Because bad attitudes sink more relationships than anything else. Nobody have time for all of that. Nobody have time to babysit you. Nobody have time to sort through all of your history. And of course, love will love you through all of your battles, but your love for them and the potential person for you, start doing it yourself now. Can you do that for me? I want to challenge you to do it now, to start now. Get in the gym now. Don't wait. Start working on your anger issues now. Don't wait. Start working on your personality deficiencies. Don't wait. So, and again, you may need coaching, you may need a therapist, and there's nothing wrong with that. I totally recommend it. Get somebody to help sort you out, because we all have issues. There's no one perfect, except in God we can be made perfect through Him. But other than that, we're going to always have flaws. Your hair is not going to always be right, and so forth. Your clothes may have a couple of wrinkles in it. Who cares? The right person is not going to pay attention to all of that stuff. So keep in mind, reposition yourself and get out of your own way. Some of you saying, I want the man for me to be this height. He need to make this type of money. He need to be this type of guy. And that's not how that works. And some of you think the lady for you need to be this way or that way. That's not how that works. And so this is what's hindering God from finding the person and bringing the person to you that He wants, because He'll bring the right person and you'll think that's not what I want. But our ways are not God's way. He's going to find somebody that love you beyond your wildest dreams. But if you are in your own way and you got some Hollywood dreams and you watching TV and thinking that's the way everything is, and you in the fantasy world, He can't work with you. So you stay on the sideline in the meantime. So you're going to have to get out of your way and get out of your view of how you think things supposed to be. and say, hey, Lord, I want love. I want the right person for me, and give me the grace to accept that person and prepare me for that person. And he'll bring that person to you in due time. Because he said, if you delight yourself in him, he will give you the desires of your heart. And that's the secret. So, or you can go and say, hey, I'm going to go pick the person I want, and good luck with that. Good luck with that. So, I want you to take inventory of yourself, and that means check yourself, check your attitude, the way you see things, the way you view things, how you treat people. If you don't know how to treat nobody, you don't need to be with nobody. So keep that in mind. So you got to learn to see outside of yourself, and because people have failed you in the past, you can't put that same judgment on the next person. Because some woman failed you in the past, you can't put that on every lady now. And because some guy failed you in the past, you can't put that on your future moving forward. You can't move forward and be looking back at the same time. And so that's the same way if you're selling a car and you know the value it is to you, but it may not be valued the same way in the market. And so you have to make market adjustments. That don't mean compromise who you are, but that do mean make adjustments. Same way with COVID. Companies had to make adjustments to survive. If they didn't make the adjustments, they was going straight out of business, and they was going to be by themselves. So a lot of them had to do delivery services and go online and do different things because the normal way wouldn't work. And right now, the normal way will not work. You're going to have to change up things. This market is different. This is a different market. We have a selfish society that's worse and going worse every day. And so taking inventory of yourself, you're going to shine out like a bright light, like a city that's set up on a hill when you get your act together. And some of you say, well, my act is together. It's dim. Well, stop saying it's dim, because you see yourself a certain way. Other people may not see you the same way. That's what I'm saying. If you're selling something, you think the value is so much more, the market may say it's not worth that. And not to say you're not worth who you think you are or what you think you are. What I'm saying is take help from someone else to help you become better. And so you can adjust to the market. Because there's good people out here, and there's good men out here, there's good women out here. But if your mind is elevated and you're arrogant and you think you deserve all of this, and you want the person that look the way you want them to look, and they don't have the character inside, that's like a person going by an expensive car with no motor. You got that car and it's just sitting there in your driveway, just sitting there on the parking lot, and you just can look at it. It's looking real good. It's just not going nowhere. So you're going to have to get down to business and start repositioning yourself and see things differently. And that's going to start with you getting your attitude, because most of us got attitudes that's not profitable for us. And so we need somebody to help sort us out and help us to see that's not going to work. If you one that's overly demanding, men normally don't like women like that. And so, but society says be that way. And so most women like that is going to be by themselves. And so men, the same way. Most men want this type of woman that right now is not fitting the market. So what happened is you have overly aggressive women because they don't have to do everything, and you have men that's looking for homey type women that's kind of passive. Well, society haven't allowed them to be passive like grandma and great grandma had it. And so these women now are working, they're educated, they're successful, they're getting their own money, they're doing all their own things. And so men are saying, we want you to make that money, but we also want you to be submissive. And so you have that conflict. And so we're going to have to balance it out by first starting with ourselves and understanding we have to accept people for who they are, not who we want them to be. Because some people say, I love you as long as you who I want you to be. That's not going to work. You got to accept people for who they are, and in spite of what you think, and still love them in spite of that. And some people don't even know what love is. It means to love beyond yourself. Did you hear that? It means to love beyond yourself. Are you ready for that? Are you so full of yourself like this society is that you don't even have the capacity to love beyond yourself? Some people don't. And I know a lot of you say, oh yeah, I've been willing to do that and I keep getting burned. Well, you're just with the wrong person and you look into the wrong connector for the connection. And you have to start looking to God for the right connection, the right person. So keep that in mind. Don't give up on love, because there's someone out there for you. God did not create you to be alone. He did not create man to be alone. He did not create you to be crying on your pillow at night. He did not create you to walk life path by yourself. So understand that. So change up, do some things different, and just remember to keep God first in it and let that light shine. Believe me, in a darkened world, in the darkened market that we have, the right person is going to see your light, and they're going to come. They're going to come. So keep that in mind. So again, remember, let's keep it raw, keep it real, and always let's try to keep God first. So make sure you continue to come back. I got a lot of good things for you, and I'm going to let you go, and I will see you